This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So today we are going to see demo on performance engineering course. So myself, Saravanan and Srinivasan, uh, uh, I have close to uh, 13 years of experience in this field. I know various performance engineering and performance testing tools. Um, uh, Even I know load runner, JMeter, Neoload, Performance Center, Lace Meter, Dynatrace, AppDynamics, Neuralink, like that, and also many other utility tools. So I have experience with multiple customers, multiple verticals. So with that, we are going to moving on to the course content that we are going to cover as part of this journey. So performance engineering, what we are going to learn. Okay, say those who are working in already performance testing field, or those who are working in development side, those who are working in infrastructure side, those who are working in DevOps engineering side. So each and everybody, how you can correlate your activity with the performance engineering activity, or you wanted to be a performance engineer, a separate role is there, right? Performance engineer, in what way you can equip yourself to move to that zone, okay, to that role, basically. Because first of all, we should have the clarity, right? Like what performance engineering means and what performance engineer will do, and where I am standing right now and where I have to go, what I have to learn, all those things, right? So the performance engineering will help you to do that. I hope in this forum, already many are from performance testing background. Okay, anybody from performance testing background in this forum, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
from performance.
I'm from
Yeah,
performance. This is
yeah,
Muhammad.
Ahmad and Ranjan, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you like this. Like if you are having an experience for close to 8 years or more than that, what will happen over the period? I'll tell you. Don't think like I'm telling discouraging words. So if you are moving from 8 years to 10 years experienced candidate, that time your boss, your supervisor or your customer, what they will think, what you are extra, what additional thing that you are doing apart from your regular performance testing activity. Do I invest on you, with the day-to-day activity that you are doing, like scripting alone, or execution alone, or report gathering alone, like that? If you, for the work that you are doing, am I required to invest more on you, or the same work done by some 2 year experienced guy or 3 year experienced guy, on them I wanted to invest? So all these are where it is actually telling you, you have to do more than what performance tester is actually doing. That is what the intention. Okay, don't think like they are trying to discourage you. They wanted to motivate you to learn a lot of new things. That is the intention. So what is that I am trying to say here? That place only your transition from performance tester to performance engineer is actually starting. Okay, say like you need to move from performance tester to performance engineer. Okay, not only in that transition, even developer can contribute more on performance engineering, like DevOps engineer, system support engineer, everybody can contribute more on the performance engineering side, because ultimately your goal is the traditional way of doing activity you are not following. You are trying to take a modern way of doing things. Okay, traditionally I do certain activity, say like I do only scripting, only requirement gathering, only analysis, only development, only support engineering activity. No, you are trying to do more than what is expected, and then we are trying to work for the application optimization. That is a major and main thing as a performance engineer you are expected to do. say like how sir how is that actually really possible if you're asking me? Say like the performance engineer, how they are taking care of these things, like say you think it from a developer perspective. Nowadays the those who are working in agile world, they will realize like what I'm saying. In the agile world, your time for doing your development itself 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So in that case, you cannot do a thorough unit testing and all. Thorough unit testing is, it's still not possible because you have a timeline pressure, and you have probably 2 to 3 user stories to be completed in this time period. Then obviously you will not do thorough testing of whatever you are developing. And most of the case, what is happening, the clever thing is, when the date comes, like the deployment date, which means that as per the milestone, so and so date, you have to give the code to your integration team or the functional team, right? What developers are doing now, without even completing their code development, they are deploying it to the functional team. Functional team will start doing the testing, and they will raise defects and all. In the meantime, developer will do the full completion of their code development, and then they will deploy it. Those are all the things are nowadays it is actually happening because of the timeline pressure. So look at the timeline pressure for the developers, even for your performance testers. What performance testers are actually doing, most of the time they are not getting the sufficient time to do their testing, right? Say like performance testers supposed to do load test, stress test, volume test, scalability test, endurance test. Like that, they have to do different type of testing. But because of the timeline pressure, nowadays everybody is actually doing only load test. Okay, actually saying, if you are doing a stress test, breaking point you are going to identify. If you are doing an endurance test, memory leak you are going to identify. If you are doing a scalability test with the future load, current infrastructure, how it is actually performing. So each and every type of testing is actually required to do to come to a conclusion, right? But you are not having sufficient time to do that, so you are only doing a expected user load testing called load test. So in that way only, your timeline pressure is also there. Okay. And think about system support engineers. They are working round the clock, 24/7, identifying what is the problem in the system. In that way only they are also working. So what I'm trying to say here is that, like, each one will have their main task. With the timeline pressure, they are running behind something, and they are unable to think about the application optimization, application fine tuning perspective. They cannot think, actually say. Okay. So in that way there is a problem for each and every associates. Okay. But think about performance engineer. Performance engineer primary role itself, optimizing application performance. Okay, optimizing application performance. So what they can do, they can sit along with the developer. Okay, they can sit along with the developer, and then they can help the developer when they are doing the unit testing. They'll also help them to do some optimization, because they are good in the optimization concepts, http compression, caching, these that they, a lot of procedural steps are there, right? So performance engineer can do that in the optimization perspective. And also, during the performance testing activity, performance engineer can coordinate with the performance tester, identify, is there capacity related problem, or is there monitoring related problem, is there response time related problem, error related problem, exception related problem, traffic related problem. Like that, they can also provide suggestion to the performance tester. As a performance engineer, you can optimize that as well. Okay. And you can work along with the system support engineer to do the monitoring of the production infrastructure, right? So with that, you can say, like, scalability related issue, how your system is actually scaling, capacity related issue, your monitoring data related issue, cpu related issue, memory related issue. Like that, they can also work along with the system support engineer to do that activity. So all these are something that performance engineers are actually doing. As part of it, they are trying to optimize and fine tuning the application. In that way only, performance engineers' roles are very, very, very important. And the market importance, the job role and the market importance also, I'm telling you, nowadays, those who are aware of these concepts, these understanding, they are getting their job very, very easily. The two, if you are talking about something related to performance engineering concepts, something related to heap dump, thread dump, garbage collection, client-side performance monitoring, database monitoring, or profiling tool experience, all those things, if you are talking in front of the interviewer, the chance of getting a new job is very, very easy. That is how the world is actually moving. Okay. I'll take a pause here. Anybody have any question till now? Please ask your question.
Are we covering database side monitoring as well in this session?
Yeah, we have Oracle DB monitoring content is there. Oracle DB.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How long is the course?
It is 25 plus hours. Okay, 25 plus hours course, and this time slot. It is 8 o'clock time slot in India, correspondingly in other locations as well. Say like it is 10:30 p.m. right? 10:30 p.m. in US. Okay, so corresponding time slot. It is all weekdays, 5 days, 5 days weekday session, 25 plus hours of training, and then each day video will be recorded and it will be shared in your YouTube playlist. We will upload it, so you guys can watch it. Lifetime access for those videos also. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so everything is actually practical oriented learning that we are going to do it in this course journey. Say I have the sample applications with me. Tomcat server, on top of it one application we will be deploying it, JPEG store application, and then we'll learn with multiple Eclipse program also is there, and then we will use that Eclipse activity and then this Apache Tomcat server activity, and then we'll learn everything practically. Even setting up the server also, I'll take one session how to set it up the server in your machine, so that you guys can set that Apache Tomcat and deploy that application in your machine itself, and then do your practical hands-on work. So in that way only we designed this course content. Okay.
So we'll do practical on thread dump analysis.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Nice.
Yeah, the practical example like the thread dump I'm saying. I have a Eclipse program. Through that, we will do thread dump. I have a Apache Tomcat. Through that, we will do thread dump analysis. And the thread dump analysis also, I'll tell you how in a different way through the command line how you can capture the thread dump. That also will cover. And also manually how will you read and understand thread dump, that also will cover. Automated way through online tools, how will you read and understand your thread dump, like that will cover. Like that, it is not like single approach. We wanted to have a different view, because organization to organization, there are organization they will have tools, there are organization they will not have tools. So we are preparing ourselves in such a way where we have tools we can use it, where we don't have tools we'll read it manually. Like that we are going to learn this one.
Okay. Are we covering any log analysis like server application log, server logs, or any analysis related to servers?
It is not purely a log analysis, it is a production log monitoring. Okay, so we are having a tool called AWS Stats and then Google Analytics. Okay, these tools will help you to analyze the logs, and then which will help you to do a workload modeling. Okay, say like how much of a concurrent user, how much of a throughput, I mean to say transaction per second or each per second. All those information, if you wanted to do it, how you are doing your log analysis. That is what we are going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I'll any question?
Yeah. Hello. I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my question is, nowadays most of the, I mean, according to my knowledge, 80 to 70 to 90%. Not all applications are moved to the cloud.
Hmm.
Now, in the cloud-based applications, these engineering concepts, how to monitor the, how to monitor the in the cloud-based applications. In the tool, all engineering concepts are terminology is same and knowledge is same. In a perspective in the on-premises and cloud, what is the differences? How to monitor? How to deploy the this JMeter or whatever it may be, load runner. These topics will cover in this particular course, or only engineering concepts.
I'll tell you first. See, whether it is cloud or whether it is on premises, concept is concept same. Okay. Anyways, in cloud also, you are going to log in into a Linux machine or you are going to log in into a Windows machine only, right? That is how you are going to do that. So concept is same only. And through Isha, there is a cloud performance engineering course is there. Okay, there is a separate cloud performance engineering, pure and pure cloud related things. Here in this course content, what we are trying to bring in is that like it is a eye-opening thing. Like performance engineering means what? In across the layer, what are the things that are there? In across the layer, what I can learn to start with the performance engineering concept. That is how we brought in this course content. I hope in a shorter while I'm going to explain the course content also, right? Post that you will get to know like we touched all the spaces. Okay, we touched Java, we touched the infrastructure, we touched database, we touched client-side performance, we touched profiling concepts, and also one APM tool, and then we also touched the production log monitoring things also. So that is how we covered this course content, and need not be a specific cloud alone. We are across the layer. We wanted to do the understanding. That is how this course content is actually created.
Okay. This, I mean, any only open source tool will cover these engineering concepts, or any monitoring tools also will introduce this.
See, that's what Dynatrace I'm going to cover, and then we are going to cover JProfiler, YourKit. These are the commercial solutions that we are going to cover, and then usually this JVisual VM, JConsole, JCommand, JStack. All these are utility level learnings. Okay, JDK utility level learning, and you can also see like this online heap dump analysis, heap hero, online utility tool, and then thread analyzer we are going to do, GCEC we are going to learn, and so the small commands and all will be there, but on a high note, these are the tools that we are going to use. Okay.
I think you are explaining all this concept through on-premises. Same concept, same subject. We use that cloud also. As I'm understanding correct?
Nothing changes. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Nothing changes. Say you are able to see my laptop right now, right? Within 10 minutes, I can log in into Azure Windows machine. Okay. Will you see any difference after that? After logging inside the Windows machine, will you see anything different? Nothing. It is Windows again. It is again a Windows machine. So concept is all same only, provided it is a cloud provider through which you are using the infrastructure. That's the only difference. Operating system and then the machine, everything is actually same only. So not much of a difference in the way we are doing the activity.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I'll quickly walk you through this course content because that is very important because we need to fulfill your expectations, right? So, so initially we are going to have that performance engineering introduction, where we should get what is performance engineering means. So that we are trying to cover introduction, life cycle, and then the activities performed by performance engineers. And then Java performance engineering concepts, we wanted to bring in that JVM architecture related information, JVM monitoring related information, JVM monitoring through JVisual VM, JVM monitoring through JControl. While doing that JVM monitoring, we are going to do heap analysis by using JConsole and then JVisual VM, thread analysis by JVisual VM and JConsole with the real-time example by running the test, do the monitoring of the corresponding JVM. Like that, we are going to learn it. And the same Java monitoring we are trying to use with one commercial tool called YourKit. In industry, it is familiarly called as YJP. Okay, YJP, YourKit Java Profiler. Okay, in many of your performance engineer job description also, this YJP will be there. Okay, so you are going to learn one commercial tool for doing this, and then we are going to learn about your the garbage collection mechanism. Okay, say like what is your Eden space, survivor space, tenured space, what is your minor GC, major GC, full GC, like that. We are going to learn about the structure. Okay, and then in that, say like if I change the min size and max size of your heap value, how your application is actually behaving. Okay, I hope those who are working in JMeter tool, Apache JMeter tool, if you wanted to do a large volume performance testing, you need to go and change this min value and max value, right? That is the procedure. That is the procedure. So here also in Apache Tomcat server, if you are trying to do this kind of a modification, what is really happening, that is what we are going to see here. And then different types of garbage collection. Okay, serial GC, parallel GC, concurrent mark and sweep, and G1 GC. If you are knowing about these concepts, serial GC where it is used, parallel GC where it is used, CMS where it is used, G1 where it is used, which are all the applications are using this one, how we are going to get more benefit if we are using these garbage collection algorithm. Like that, we are going to learn. And then JVM thread pooling concepts, we are going to learn like core pool size, core max pool, queuing, bounded queue, unbounded queue, all those explanation we are going to see. And then thread monitoring. Okay, what is hanging thread, what is mean by queue length, those things we are going to learn. And then JDBC connection pooling. Okay, database connection pooling with the conceptual representation, and then how this JDBC connection pooling, different types of JDBC connection pooling, all those things also we are going to learn. And then the next important thing is your thread dump analysis. Okay, we'll see like what is thread dump, life cycle, and then various options to take the thread dump, how to capture, and then how to analyze your thread dump. Those are the things we are going to see. And then your garbage collection. Okay, garbage collection also, how we are going to get garbage collection logs with the different activity. Offline, how you can monitor your garbage collection. Online, how you monitor your garbage collection. How to identify some leak related information through the garbage collection. Those are all the things we are going to learn. And then out of memory error. Okay, so usually we should know, right, what are the different out of memory error. Is it Java heap space, or permgen, or GC overhead, or unable to create new native threads, like that. Different out of memory errors are there. So we are going to see those, and each and every out of memory error, how to overcome, what you have to do to overcome those out of memory error. Like that, we are going to see that. And then infrastructure monitoring. So many are not doing these things in the industry now. I would say only probably 50% of the people only doing infrastructure monitoring. Many are not doing it. So we are going to bring that understanding, like how to do the Windows Server monitoring. Through the Windows Server monitoring, how to use perfmon counters to do that monitoring. What are all the critical metrics? Those you need to have the understanding. You have to have those in your metric list so that you can identify Windows related performance, Windows infrastructure related performance bottleneck. You can identify it. Similarly, Linux environment, we are going to see different commands: vmstat, netstat, iostat, top, sar, nmon. Nmon is a utility. So I'll show you like how to use the utility for collecting the CPU related, memory related, disk related metric, and how you can store that result in a in a Excel format, and then visualize the graphs. So for that purpose, we are using a nmon utility. Okay, and then so this nmon utility we will see in detail, and with example we are going to cover the real time things, and then database monitoring. Okay, database monitoring. So we have different data, but we wanted to go with the familiar maximum used commercial database. That is the reason we are covering the Oracle database. In Oracle database, you have option to create AWR reports, ADDM reports, ASH reports, and all. So I'll show you how to create AWR, ADDM, ASH, and how to read and understand what is there in the AWR, what is there in the ADDM. With that, how you can conclude that there is a problem in your DB or what. That is also we are going to do. And client side performance also we are going to cover. Okay, that is very important, right? Nowadays, every customer is actually interested to know about their application when they are launching into the browser, how it is actually behaving. Say like how your CSS, how your JS, how your HTML is actually loading into the HTML, loading into the browser. So in order to know that, you should have some understanding about what is front-end performance metric and what are all the common problems with the client-side performance. And then we are going to learn about browser rendering concepts, how the content is actually coming and then rendering in the page, right? That is also we are going to, that process also we are going to learn. And then 4 different tools. Okay, probably not 4. I'll make that as a three different tools. Actually, this Lighthouse is now integrated inside this GTmetrix itself. Okay, so Chrome DevTools, GTmetrix, and then web page test will learn it. Will each and every tool, how to use it, how to capture the single user performance metric, whether it is a landing page performance metric or in the second page, subsequent page one. Those things we are going to learn. And what are all the critical metrics you will be learning? It is time to first byte, time to interactive, first visual change, load time, full load time. All those are the critical metrics are there, right? So we will try to learn those metrics. So we'll try to share those metrics to the stakeholder. And then the code profiling concept. Already we saw YJP. Okay, so URKit Java profiler. Apart from that, we are trying to provide J profiler also, Java profiler also. So we'll do the understanding of what is code profiling, what is your J profiler activity capability, and then how will you capture the data. Okay, and then we are also going to explore more about Dynatrace APM tool. Okay, Dynatrace APM tool. This, because every job description in the industry nowadays, if you go and read any job description, not only performance engineering, even the performance tester job description, you will find one APM tool, predominantly Dynatrace. Okay, so that is the reason I wanted to cover that as part of this course journey. So actually saying in Isha, we have a separate batches that are running for Dynatrace alone. Okay, for 15 hours of a session. Here we wanted to bring that knowledge, we wanted to bring that understanding. That is the reason we added this tool Dynatrace under performance engineering session. And then real-time application performance issue, say like you wanted to find like production load analysis, or you wanted to find like some CPU related, memory related issues that are there. No, you can do that, you can learn that. So all in all, we try to cover APM tool, profiling tool, client-side performance testing tool, database performance testing tool, and then production log analysis tool, and then Java monitoring tool, everything we wanted to cover it. In that way only we prepared this course content. Yes, I'll take a pass here. Anybody have any question till now? Please ask your question.
Yeah, you said we are going to cover this Dynatrace APM tool, right? Like, means is it like the overview of the Dynatrace, or is it something related to performance engineering?
It is related to performance engineering. What will I do? I'll deploy this one agent into the infrastructure, and we have our application, right? That application app server will be monitored by one agent. DB is also monitored by one agent, and then correspondingly you will get the metrics, right? When we are applying the load to the system, how that server is actually monitored, how synthetic monitoring can be done, how real user monitoring can be done, database monitoring can be done, how network monitoring can be done, how different diagnostic tools that are available in Dynatrace can be leveraged. Like that, we are going to go with a detailed understanding of your APM tool, like a performance engineer, and you can also think like a professional. Okay, your Dynatrace professional role. There is a role, professional role, right? So you in that way only we are trying to cover this.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
And
Yeah.
in and out of Dynatrace, everything is covered right here. Like different technologies will be involved in this Dynatrace.
Yeah. Yeah, we are covering everything. We are covering.
Okay. Is anything like Docker and something like that also covered?
No. See, the problem is setting up these infrastructure is a little tough. Okay, this Docker containers, Kubernetes. Okay, all these are little tough. Okay, that's the reason we did not have that in our course content. But actually, saying we are working on that. I want to acknowledge that as well. Like we are working on that, but right now we don't have that infra to show all those things. Other than that, we are trying to cover cloud related and also your on-prem related things. We are trying to cover.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
yeah, and one more question, like this course is for 25 hours, right? Like starting from which date and when this course will end, like by what date this course will be end?
So probably we are planning to start from today is Friday, right? Monday. Okay. So based on the request coming from the learners, we'll start the day one from Monday itself. That is how we are planning.
Every day we have
And
session for 1 hour, right?
1 hour, correct.
Yeah.
This session happens only on the weekend, right? I mean, sorry, weekday, right? Not on the weekends. Saturday, Sunday is also included, or how is it?
No. Saturday, Sunday is the holiday.
Okay.
Weekdays only. Weekdays. Only.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So those who are interested to proceed with the course, okay, you can reach out to Kumar sir. Kumar sir number is here. Okay, 8019952427. I'll repeat again, 8019952427. So even I'll try to ping this in the chat also. You guys can take it. For any commercial related, course content related, timing related, other additional information you wanted to get into, you can reach out to Kumar sir, 8019952427. Probably from Monday we are starting our batches. So please, those who wanted to have the discussion, you can have your discussion with Kumar. And I'll repeat again, this is a weekday session, 5 days a week, and then the same time slot, whatever we are right now attending, right, the same time slot, and each and every day video will be uploaded into your YouTube playlist URL, and that is a lifetime a video available for you. You can use that, and it is 25 plus hours session, 25 plus hours session that we are planning. Okay. Any further question, guys?
Saravanan, is there any specific session planned for interview kind of questions, or it will be covered along with the topics?
Along with the topic, we are covering that. While explaining the regular things, right? That time we'll cover everything.
Yeah, okay.
This course content is available any Isha website or sorry, your good name?
Saravanan.
Saravanan,
So
okay.
I'll ping the course content in the chat itself. The link I pasted right now. You can see.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You can take those.
Saravanan, one more last question. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Is Isha provided any this DevOps related or performance tools like Jenkins and AWS? I mean, any code not any chance is there in Isha provided any?
That's what you the good person to discuss with this thing is you discuss with Kumar. Kumar will tell you. Actually, it is there. Answer to you, it is there. But
Okay.
he will guide you to whom you need to touch base. So you discuss with Kumar. Okay.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sure. So if you do not have further question, thanks for joining. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to take this demo session for you all. I hope this course journey will continue, and we all will travel together in this course journey. See you all in the upcoming days. Thanks for joining, and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.